Hello everyone and welcome back to Gaming with Naakta. I was a little worried to play this game because I really wasn't sure what to expect. I haven't played too many of the Metal Gear series games, but I really wanted to see what this game was about. Survival games have been pretty popular for a while now, and I thought it was a really smart decision to take the characters and the lore of the Metal Gear series and combine it with the gameplay of State of Decay. This game does have a full campaign, and it's a lot more structured than your typical zombie apocalypse survival game. There's a lot of mechanics in this game to keep track of, and that's kind of what I want to dive into for this video. So I'm going to go into the mechanics, I'll give you my final thoughts, and then I'll end the video with just some gameplay for you to watch. The game starts off with about 10 minutes of cinematics, and it's not looking too good at this base. You get a chance to create your character, male or female, with a good amount of presets and customization options. I went for a young Ellen DeGeneres with war paint. After you finish with customizing your character, you're sent into more cutscenes. In the middle of this fiery battle, here you are, too pretty to keep your mask on. Nightwing looks good as a blonde lady. Long story short, we're infected by some creature from another dimension, and we've been sent to said dimension in hopes of killing the creature and not becoming one of these crystal head zombie things. This is just a fun little intro to the game where you learn that not wasting your time killing every enemy is the best way to play this game. Metal Gear Survive stays true to Metal Gear ways and has this cool style of character communication. Your character doesn't really speak, so Reeve will be the vocal point man. The intro ends with this gorgeous cutscene with the game title displayed. I had to include this shot. You're sent into more cutscenes like this one. At least they're beautiful to watch. We're introduced to Virgil AT9, who will be our support AI throughout the game. Something happened to Virgil AT9, and there are two personalities inside the AI. One with a female voice.
It has been 34 days, 9 hours, 12 minutes, and 2 seconds. Commencing debrief.
And one with a male voice.
Take a closer look. They aren't with the Karen Corps.
I'm sure that'll have some importance later on in the story. At its core, Metal Gear Survive is about collecting, hunting, and crafting in order to keep yourself alive while you complete your missions in detail. Looking out for building materials, medicine, crafting mats, food, water, and other stuff will be crucial. Keeping your hunger and thirst in check is a top priority, as hunger determines your maximum health, and thirst determines your stamina. The beginning missions are all about finding these message boards. They look like server boxes with red lights, and these help Virgil to recover some of their data/memories. While exploring, you'll find Kuban energy in different forms. You can collect it by defeating and essentially skinning the zombies, or by destroying Kuban crystals in the field. Kuban energy comes in handy for many mechanics in Metal Gear Survive. It's used for every crafting recipe, it can be converted into oxygen to replenish your O2 tank, and most importantly, to level up your character. Oxygen is another mechanic so important that it got its own cutscene. Ooh, oxygen mask. If your oxygen runs out in the field, your health will quickly deplete until you either get more oxygen or you die. Leveling up your character allows you to unlock different perks or boost your stats. I chose to first grab these two passives: Quick Hands, which makes collecting faster, and Combat Step, which gives you a more reliable dodge. Next, I suggest choosing which of the 4 melee weapons you like most. There's one hand, two hand, thrusting, and heavy weapons. Once you know which one you like most, unlock the extra combo attack and the sprinting attack. Oftentimes, when you're exploring, you'll find these locked containers. You can silently open them by playing this little minigame. When the safe zone moves, you move the handle along with it by pressing R2. If you mess up, then you make a really loud noise and all enemies in range will attack you. Being stealthy can be a big part of this game if you choose. Lucky for us, we're able to silently and instantly take out enemies if we sneak up on them. With such a large map to explore and only one base of operations, the use of wormhole transporters is a huge deal. These act as fast travel points around the map, but before you can use them, you have to activate them and fight off waves of enemies. Be prepared when you activate a dormant transporter. You don't want to underestimate how difficult these can be. Combat can take its toll, and you'll acquire injuries every now and then. Simply use the required medical supply from the main menu, or sleep at least 5 hours in base. Another important aspect to this game is rescue missions. The first civilian that was unfortunately sent to Dite is this lovely nurse Miranda. This was the only rescue mission that I did, but I know they're important because after saving Miranda, you learn about crew management. This gives you a way to put each person in your base to use. Some people are good at certain tasks, so you'll want to put them on specific teams. At first, we only have access to the base development team. After a few missions in the dust, this monstrous creature named the Lord of Dust makes its debut. We're warned to keep our distance and to try and not fight it yet. It must have some sort of path that's determined by what mission you're on, because you run into it pretty often. As long as you stay away from where the feet hit the ground, you'll be fine. At some point, we try to create a wormhole to get back home, and oops, turns out it's a little harder than we think. Portals open up all around the base, and you have to defend the machine from hordes of enemies. I assumed something like this would happen, so I already had some extra fences for this mission. Spending a little extra time in building up defenses around your base will save you from having to rebuild your workstations and resource nodes. Speaking of which, you can build resource nodes. I was able to build 2 water collection units and 2 potato patches. A set amount of real-world time needs to pass between collecting from these nodes. The dirty water takes 100 minutes, and the potatoes take 200 minutes. The last thing I want to cover about this game is driving vehicles. The driving in this game is incredibly well done for how little you actually get to drive. The physics for drifting and slowing down feel better than some games fully created around driving. The vehicles break down rather quickly, so only drive when you have a planned course, and try not to ram enemies. It makes them break down even faster. Whoa, so that's a lot of cool stuff for one game to have. I think it has a really delicate balance of stressful mechanics as well as fun gameplay. There were times where I was so caught up in what I was doing that I actually didn't notice that my oxygen ran out. And before I finished a bunch of the campaign, I was really stressed out about hydration. But at the same time, combat and gameplay is really fun and impactful, and there's so much to explore. Even though there are stressful parts of this game, I kept wanting to push on and see what was next in the story. For anyone who has Game Pass, Metal Gear Survive is a must-play. It's really fun. If you're new to the Metal Gear series or you haven't played survival games before, this game actually does a really good job of showing you the ropes. Next up is some gameplay footage so you can see how these mechanics go together. If you enjoyed this video structure, let me know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. See you next time!
Wormhole digger transport complete. Access the digger. Wormhole digger is running. Enemies detected. Protect the digger. Digging has finished. You've completed your objective there. Return to base camp.